poppin', everybody? It's your boy Daouda, and welcome to episode 13 or episode 14 of Inside Deez Mindz. And I'm joined by a really special guest. She's been making absolute bangers, left, right, and center. And overall, it's a vibe to listen to. Here is Sabrina Fallah. Hey, Sabrina, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited for this.
What's funny though is that you're actually the first guest I've done that does the whole phone interview, and we're pretty much making history at this point.
Yeah.
All right. So, if you want to give the audience on what got your start on making music.
Well, I first started to write short stories and poetry when I was, I think, around grade 4. I just can't remember the age. That I was very into writing. I just loved to write stories and stuff. And then one day I thought, if I can write short stories and poetry, can I write a song? Okay. You know, that led to songwriting. And I used to write songs before I grabbed an instrument. So I would have the melody in my mind, in my head, and then I would be writing the lyrics. And then I got taught the piano, and then I grabbed the guitar. And then that's how everything started.
All right. Well, that's pretty cool. Was it hard trying to learn each of the instruments growing up? From, like you mentioned, you started off with the piano, then the guitar. Mm-hmm. How hard was it trying to do that?
I grabbed it really fast. Because I can play by ear too. Yeah. So because I learned the piano, I learned all the theory and the chords. So guitar was so easy. I grabbed it fast. I just learned it really fast. Somehow, I probably was born with it or something, because I didn't have to go through so much learning. I just grabbed it. Okay. I was so passionate and interested in learning it that I grabbed it very fast.
All right. And of course, I managed to at least listen to some of your songs over the past couple of days. And what was the genre you're going for when you're making the music that you're making right now?
Rock.
Mostly rock? Have you ever been mostly listening to rock music growing up, or as in you collect albums, listen to any of the rock bands from over the years? What kind of bands or artists that pretty much influenced you or inspired you to continue making the music?
Well, funny thing, when I first started to learn my voice, learning vocal training and getting into it, I was listening to a lot of Michelle Branch, because I just loved her. I still love her. She's great. But then I would listen to Simple Plan, Avril Lavigne, and Evanescence. But when I heard Green Day, that was when I was like, okay, that's the sound, that's the style, that's what I want to do. So I would say my main influences are Green Day, Bon Jovi, and Billy Idol. Okay. They're the ones I look up to, and I try to be influenced, I try to get some inspiration from their music and add a bit of it to mine, but I try not to copy them too much.
Yeah.
But as long as people can hear some of the influence, that's what I want.
All right. And when it comes to your music and stuff like that, when you mentioned some of the bands you've pretty much been inspired and influenced by, which is Green Day, Bon Jovi, stuff like that, have you at least listened to their entire album, or at least their singles on that sounds pretty good, don't want, you said that you don't want to copy them 100%, at least hear some of the melodies of what they use, the chords. Have you at least listened to each of the albums and singles on what these bands had done over the years, and then thinking, what if I end up putting at least a bit of a twist on my end, and try to change it up a bit and not sound exactly the same?
Exactly. I get more, for example, Green Day, I get more of their hard strumming and punchy sound, like old school sound. So I like songs like that, which edge and punch and lots of distortion. I need distortion. So, but if I'm doing acoustically, I still put that edge in it acoustically. I just play harder and put that punch in the guitar. So yeah, that is what I'm basically doing. I'm listening to their music and writing something similar, but putting my own twist on top of it, like you mentioned.
All right.
Yeah.
And also with like pretty much with the whole like pretty much like during the past couple of episodes I've had with like my guests, they wanted to at least have Ottawa stand out with the music scene, as like some are going for the whole rap, some going with the whole rock soul fusion, and like with you, how do you want to make Ottawa stand out the most?
Do you mean like
because during like the past couple of like episodes I have with my guest, like they would like, for example, my first episode, my guest wanted to at least have Ottawa have a sound in the music side of things. Like, how do you want to have Ottawa be known from other cities as well as like countries on like what Ottawa is? Like, for example, the music, the like kind of like entertainment wise at least.
Like, I'm from Ottawa, so I was born here, and there's a lot of talent in Ottawa that I think should be heard.
Okay.
You know, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and like pretty much with the like when it comes to like the music side of things, like have you ever at least like incorporate any like instruments from different parts of the world, from different countries into your music, or have you at least thought about it?
I have thought about it.
Like,
I haven't done it, but I have thought about it, and I think it's something interesting to do, because a lot of artists have done at least one song like that, including other cultures' sound into their music, and I think that'll be interesting to do actually.
Like, have you ever, like, which instruments have you got, which pretty much what instruments from different countries have you had in mind in including with your music?
That I haven't thought about.
No worries.
I'm very open.
Yep.
So anything that would sound good with the song that I have for that project, I think it'll be interesting to find out what would fit.
Okay. And like, so with the pretty much like with the instruments and stuff like that, like if let's say you do want to find the certain sound from other countries, like I mentioned before, like do you like end up going to a certain place, whether it's like another city or a different country, and at least hear how the people play like songs from their country, and sees like, you know what, like what if I add a bit of that into like future projects? Like, have you at least like thought of going to those specific locations and doing so?
If I had the opportunity to do that, of course I would, because I would be there seeing it and seeing how they play it. And I think it'll be better to see it live than just hearing it and then adding it in.
Okay.
So, yeah, I would definitely do that. Yeah.
And so with the, like, have you ever, like, in the past, or at least if you ever thought about this for the near future, at least have like other like artists in Ottawa to at least be featured into the music that you've put into, like have you ever thought of featuring someone in your music in the past, or thought about it for the near future?
You mean like as a singer?
Yeah.
I've never thought of that. But I think it'll be cool, but it has to be the right song.
Yep.
And the right vocalist.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm so used to doing it myself.
Yeah.
But I would have to know exactly what would work. But yeah, I think it would be cool.
All right. And so a couple days ago, I managed to like hear your song Frontline.
Yeah.
And what made you thought of putting together that song, as well as putting together what was the idea behind the music video?
Okay, so for that song, I co-wrote that song with Heather Meary in Vancouver via Skype.
Yep.
And I told her, like, I wanted to sound, like, edgy and fast and upbeat.
Yep.
Because I wanted to sound a bit danceable.
Mm-hmm.
And then I told her that I want the song to be about achieving your dreams and going for your goal. And I know you're going to lose friends on the way, but you just go. It's basically about just sticking to what you want in your life. Because I was going through a time where I was having problems with friends, and I had to sacrifice things to pursue my dream, and I lost some friends.
Okay.
So I wrote this song about no matter what you do in life, as you go up to succeed, you're going to lose friends and make new friends. So that's what Frontline's about.
Yep.
And the video, oh my God, I was in heels pretty much the whole day. It was killing me.
I noticed that you were like in heels for like the most part.
I never took them off because it would be a pain to put them back on.
Okay.
So I was like, I don't even know how I did it, but I'll never do it again, or at least daily. But yeah, I thought it was cool. The person that I did it with had all the ideas for the video, so it's not like I had to like plan everything. They gave me the idea, and I said I love it. And then we had to drive around Toronto to do it, and we spent the whole day in the heat.
Oh, jeez.
And I was surprised my makeup stayed on. I think I put a lot on. But I was so lucky nothing was smeared or whatever. But yeah, it was great. And my best scene was the skateboard park.
Oh, yeah?
We actually found those guys at the park that day and asked them, would you be interested in being in the video? And they're like, sure, why not? Because they were doing tricks.
Yeah.
So they just did it right there and then. That just happened as soon as we got there. So it was great. And they were very good. They were very good. But I was scared because some of them were coming so close to do those tricks.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to hit me while I was singing.
Oh, jeez.
But I tried not to show it on camera, but they were pretty close to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, of course, we have at least reached to, like, this segment of the show called Production Junction. And what it is I would choose four well-known songs from, like, different, like, from either artists or bands, and it's from, like, over the years, and the first songs I picked out are from pretty much bands. The first is being Milky Chance, then Redbone, Fleetwood Mac, and then the Runaways. And going to, like, whip it up real quick. The first song is from the band Milky Chance, and the song that we're going to listen to is called Losing You from their album Blossom, and just going to at least give your thoughts and opinions on from the production side as well as the lyrics. All right?
Okay.
Make some time. Who's to say if I'm alright and take the northern line?
All right. What are your thoughts and opinions about the first song?
I actually like it. I love the drum beat. Nice. It caught my attention right away. It's very hooky. There's a hook in there. Yeah.
And is there like anything, let's say if you ever thought of at least, if let's say you had the opportunity of making this song, is there like anything you want to at least change or just leave it as it is? Is there like anything? Yep.
Well, since it caught me as soon as you played it,
Yep.
I think it's fine as is.
Okay.
It didn't take me time to adjust to it, so
Okay.
I think it's good.
All right. So the next song is from the band Redbone, and of course, very classic band. And from the next song onwards is from like it was using the soundtrack from the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, like
Okay.
Volumes 1 and 2, but it's pretty much just classic songs. So right now I'm playing Come and Get Your Love from Redbone.
Okay.
Hey, what's the matter with you? Feel right? Don't you feel right, baby? Hey, oh yeah, get it from the main line. All right.
So what are your thoughts and opinions about that?
It has some oldies sound to it.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah.
like the
Wow.
song came out around like the 1970s, like 60s, 70s kind of feel. And it's like it's one of those like songs that stand out quite the most to it.
Wow. I don't listen to a lot of music like that.
Yep.
So that was like, wow. But that's like, wow. Like back in the day, that was the style that was hitting, you know?
All right.
So, but yeah, it's not bad.
All right. The next song is from like Fleetwood Mac with the song The Chain. And I'm just going to play that for you right now.
And if you don't love me now, you'll never love me again. I can still hear you saying we'll never break the chain.
All right.
I like that.
It's like
I know that band. So,
Like-
yeah,
this is that like have you listened to that band at all growing up from like during the young days even to now?
no, not like that. I've heard one or two of their songs, but
not as much.
no, but it's an interesting style, though. I love how all the bands are different sounding and
Yeah.
sound. It shows that they all stick out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And so the final song that I'm going to play for you is the song's called Cherry Bomb by the Runaways.
Oh, yes. Love that song.
And I'm just going to at least like have you give your thoughts and opinions on the production as well as the lyrics to it.
Okay.
Nice love and straight sounds too. Come on, baby, let me get to you. Bad nights causing teenage blues.
All right.
Oh, it's so my type of music. Love that song. I love the groove, the edge to it. The lyrics are very good, to the point. Oh yeah, it's just an in-your-face sounding jam, man. It's great.
Oh, that's well. Just like for me, like when it comes to music, it's pretty much like a universal language to everyone around the world. Depending if we may not know the language one-on-one, as long as like people know that music can unite to like everyone to this one place. It's all about like the good times and the good vibes, stuff like that. And of course, like with some of like when you mentioned earlier that when it comes you end up doing rock as like the genre you're going for with music, like have you ever thought of putting at least other genres of music into the rock genre, or you like to stay with the rock?
Well, people that hear me, they call me pop rock sometimes.
Yeah.
But the thing about me is, I like pop is like popular, is like the term, but I'm not really the pop like Barbie pop.
Yeah.
So when people say pop rock, I'm thinking, I hope you mean like Avril Lavigne, you know, because I don't want to be like the real pop.
Yeah.
But that's why, like, I do different styles of rock. Like, I've been told that I sound like indie rock, alternative rock. So I can be in those different categories. But I don't know. Maybe in the future I might try a different style just as a side project. But rock is where I want to be fitting in.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And like I know that like there's like another band that I called the Lionels. I don't know if you like heard of them, who was like really popping in the Ottawa scene, and of course like they pretty much they go for like the whole kind of like the funk rock feel to like music. For example, with their first debut album, like self-titled album, and then their second one that they just somewhat released a couple days ago. Like, have you ever thought of working with them, or just at least continue with doing the songs yourself, then like later on you will work with other artists?
I do co-write.
Okay. Like,
So I have worked with other musicians
okay.
on my music. But normally I write my songs first,
Yeah.
and then I show them what I have, or we write it from scratch. But I always like to bring in what I've already written because I want to finish it, right?
Yeah.
So, but also it's what the idea is at that moment. It depends with the theme on that day. So things can always change completely.
And with the writing process and the lyrics, like how long does it normally take you to write one song, or like how long does it take to at least write one or two songs before putting into like the final product?
Well, when I was like 14, 15, I was so mad at this guy. I wrote a song in 5 minutes.
Oh, geez.
And I still have that song, and it's perfect. But that was like luck. I was so mad. I put everything out, and it came out perfectly. But it depends. Sometimes it takes 2-3 days. Sometimes it takes 2 weeks.
Okay.
Sometimes I go into writer's block,
Oh,
and
that's
then
worse.
I'm stuck. So I don't think my songs are ever finished because I like other people to come in and look at it to improve it.
Yeah.
But
okay.
I don't think there's a set time. Like even with the songwriters that I co-wrote with, sometimes it took us a few hours to get it done for the studio. So it is time consuming, and you know it can get you can get tired too because it's a lot of mind thinking to put on the paper. So
Yeah. All right.
yeah.
And like, of course, like when it comes to like writing lyrics for songs, it's different with other people. And like, so you meant when you said that you like end up showing people like your lyrics, like, do you have, like, was there like a good line in the song that you liked so much that when someone took a look at it, it's like, all right, that is a good line, but we're going to have to at least either rewrite it or take out it entirely. Was there like a favorite line that you had in one of your songs that you liked the most but didn't make it into the final cut?
Honestly, I think all of my lines got into it. It's just we just worked on just the structure and the song being stronger.
Okay.
So as long as the idea, like I always tell the songwriter that I'm working with, as long as the idea that I have for the song is still in the song, I'm happy. Because a lot of things get taken out and moved around. But as long as I can still tell people this song is about this, I'm happy. But if the song changes completely, then there's something wrong there.
Okay.
You know? So, yeah.
All right. And like, if it's pretty much like with some of like the stuff, like, let's say for example, like you mentioned you went down to Toronto and you end up like filming your frontline music video. Like, have you, like, you've also had mentioned that you've managed to write the lyrics after like you got mad with this dude. Like, when you go, let's say you are going down to Toronto, have you ever at least thought of like a lyric of like how Toronto is like, or depending what city you're going to, like, have you ever thought of at least written down like a song lyric on what kind of vibe this certain city rubs off, or what?
In my all in my All or Nothing song, I talked about going to Montreal,
Okay.
driving in a car to Montreal. So I did put that in my song. So going to a party kind of thing. So yeah, because I write songs more about how I feel and about what I go through in life. I haven't really pointed out about where I live or the cities around.
Yeah.
But that is interesting because some artists do write about that,
Yeah.
those things. I just haven't done it really,
Like not
except
as
for
much.
one song.
All right. And of course, and when let's say you end up like with like, have you ever like had fun at the end of the day making the music that you loved, whether it's like just from a single like melody or at least making the entire song? Was it like at the end of the day, was it like fun doing it with the people you care about or just doing it by yourself? Like, how fun was it for you?
If the song turns out to be the way that I hear it in my head,
Yep.
I'm happy. But if the song isn't there, it's like we still have work to do. But everything that I have recorded and released
Yep.
have sounded the exact way that I hear it in my head. I'm always trying to make sure it sounds exactly the way I hear it because there is a reason why I hear it that way. So,
Okay.
yeah. So, and the people that I've worked with are very open and letting me be creative. So if I tell them I want something like this to be sounding here, they'll do that for me.
Okay. And
Because I'm putting out the product, right? So I
Right.
have to like it as well.
all right. Yeah, it makes sense, definitely. And also I managed to look through like a YouTube channel. I noticed that you even like done like acoustic covers of some of your songs. What made you decide to do acoustic versions of it?
Oh, because when I am live,
Yeah.
when I don't have a band with me, I play all my songs acoustic because it's easier for the audience to hear it for their ears.
Yeah.
I don't want to be electric on my own and blasting like that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And what if let's say you like have like let's say you decide to make like an album. Have you ever thought of putting acoustic versions of your songs into it or no?
Oh, like redoing my songs acoustically?
Yeah, like for example, Milky Chance, like the band Milky Chance, like I listened to
Yeah.
both their albums and they have their edited final version of their song, and at the bottom, but later in the album, they have acoustic versions of their songs, just from like the guitar, like the acoustic guitar stuff like that. Have you ever thought of at least doing the same method of putting your like well-known song, like for example, Frontline at the beginning, then at least play the acoustic versions of Frontline later in the album, or no?
That would be interesting to hear Frontline acoustically. I've never heard it acoustically. So I know that Bon Jovi has done that, has put an acoustic version of some of his hits
Yeah.
on a separate record, which I have. And he doesn't play it exactly like the live band version. He slows it down and adds some different structure and sound to it. But yeah, I think that'll be interesting. Like if once I like release more songs, I can choose like the popular ones
Yeah.
and make those acoustic. Because I don't think I'm going to do all of my songs acoustic. But I can choose the ones that I feel people may want to hear acoustic.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that is something I'm going to think about. I think
Alright.
I should do something like that.
And speaking of bands, I have this other segment which is called
One Gotta Go.
and parents like I managed to pick out 4 bands from my playlist, and you got Jackson 5, The
Okay.
Sweets, The 5 Stair Steps, and Parliament.
Wow.
Like, and just from like one band alone, like you might have to like at least get rid of them from their, at least like you can keep 3, but you had to get rid of 1 for like at least not having to listen to all their songs, and at least not seeing like, well, pretty much just all their songs in general. You had to like not listen to that for like ever.
I only know one of them.
Well, like let's say it's,
Well, Jackson 5 I know, so I'm
Yeah.
keeping that one.
but like, so I'm just gonna like at least name off some of like for the other 3. I'm just
Okay.
gonna at least name some of the songs that they've done like many years ago. So for the Sweets, or more like the Parliaments, they did this song called Flashlight. For the 5 Stair Steps, they did the song. If I can find it real quick. Okay. So of course Jackson 5 with I Want You Back. The 5 Stair Steps with Ooh Child. And the Sweets. With Fox on the Run. And that's about it.
So
Like,
I have to keep 3 and get rid of 1?
yeah.
Okay, get rid of Parliament.
All right. That makes sense.
I don't know why. It's just the name. It's not catching me, but the other ones caught my attention, so that's how I'm going to do it. So.
All right. Well, I know for me it's going to be somewhat a little hard, as like I grew up pretty much listening to like Michael Jackson because like my dad would be playing it
Right.
throughout the house, so I'm keeping like them for one.
Oh, yeah.
Like I might have to keep Parliaments because I listened to one of the songs and it's so like quite funky, poppy kind of way, and it's like something you definitely play at like a family gathering or just throwing like a big party. Oh man, then there's the Sweets and the 5 Stair Steps, and that's a bit of a struggle. If I had to like get rid of one, it has to be the 5 Stair Steps. Even though it's a bit of a struggle, like I had to get rid of them, as even if they're good, don't want to like listen to the songs all the time, as gotta like change it up every now and then. All right, so pretty much we made it to the end of the show, and it's really fun having to talk to you about like your music, your inspirations, all the other stuff. That is really fun to have. I was wondering if you want to like plug any of your socials so that people can follow you.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So my website is Sabrina Fallah, Fallah.
Okay.
And when you go to my site, at the top, you'll find my YouTube link, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I do have Snapchat. It's Sabrina_Fallah if you want to follow me and see all my crazy filters that I do. I just love Snapchat.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I try to follow everybody back. So, and I like making new friends and meeting new people. So, everybody to me is like a family.
Yeah.
Supporters are my family. So, like, don't be shy to say hi, or I just love oh, fun.
That's pretty cool. And also for everyone, if you want to follow me on my socials, if you want to follow me on a good personal level, you can follow me on my Instagram, which is at YodaDodaForce29, and as well as on the Twitter side, which is at Naruto Nerdherds. Same goes for the Snapchat. And if you want to follow the Inside Deez Mindz official pages on Twitter and Instagram, it is both at Inside Deez Mindz, all lowercase. And if you want to find this episode, you could at least hear it on CKDJ 107.9 FM at 1 o'clock this Friday, or by the time you're listening to it, it's already happening. And you can also find this episode on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/MrLegoman2007. And as always, see you later.